Welcome to Popcorn Playback. Today we recap the fantasy mystery sci-fi film Triangle. Before we get to the storyline, like and subscribe for more recaps and have a great day. Prepare yourself for a wild ride as the film kicks off with Jess, the incredible Melissa George, trying to keep up with her son Tommy, the prince-sized Joshua McIver, who just so happens to be the world's most mischievous autistic child. We witness this epic battle of Jess against the forces of mess as she valiantly tackles the aftermath of her son's chaos. Out of nowhere, the front door starts buzzing like a bee on a caffeine high. Jess eagerly goes to investigate, ready to catch the culprit red-handed. But alas, all she finds is an empty room as the mysterious visitor had vanished into thin air. Perhaps they were just practicing their invisibility skills or playing an elaborate game of hide and seek. Either way, Jess is left with more questions than answers. The case of the phantom visits remained unsolved, leaving her to wonder if she stumbled upon a secret portal to another dimension, or if her eyes were simply casually interrogating neighbor who was suspiciously tending to his yard. He hilariously insists that he was blind to any potential culprits. After a while, Jess decides to venture down the harbor, where she reluctantly agrees to join her friend Greg, aka Captain Cool, on his majestic vessel. Joining him on this wild adventure are Victor, aka the Hemsworth hunk, Heather, the lungful of fresh air, and the dynamic duo Downey, not related to Iron Man, and Sally, definitely not related to Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas. Oh, Greg had this brilliant idea to invite Jess and her son Tommy. But when Greg innocently asks Jess where Tommy is, she hesitates like she's about to reveal some top secret information, before finally blurting out that he's at school. Phew. Thank goodness Tommy isn't off on some secret mission or training to be a ninja. Well, it seems like the crew was having a jolly good time sailing along, when all of a sudden, the wind decides to take a nap. I guess even the wind needs its beauty sleep. Oh, and let's not forget about the mysterious electrical storm that's making its way towards us. I mean, who needs a calm and peaceful day when you can have a shocking light show, right? Greg attempts to contact the Coast Guard, but it seems like their communication skills are doing the limbo dance. Oh boy, here comes another message from the great beyond. But poor Greg's quest for coordinates is quickly met with a symphony of static. Looks like the universe is playing with a little game of hide and seek with him. Oh no, the storm had a bone to pick with the boat. It decided to give it a little tip just for fun. But wait, it couldn't resist the urge to play a prank on poor Heather too. So it whisked her away from the boat and into a wild water dance. Once the weather decides to stop playing its little game of let's drown everyone, the brave survivors find themselves perched on top of a boat and that has suddenly decided to do a handstand. Talk about a boat with hidden talents. Now with their heads spinning from the unexpected acrobatics, they're left scratching their heads, wondering what in the world they should do next. It's like a real-life episode of Survivor, Upside Down Boat Edition. Out of nowhere, a ginormous cruise ship appears, like a majestic unicorn on water. The survivors, desperate for a way out, scramble aboard faster than a squirrel on a caffeine high. But to their surprise, the ship is as empty as politicians' promises during election season. No one on deck, no one in the halls. It's like a ghost town, but on a floating palace. As they zigzag to their never-ending maze of hallways on the ship, Jess starts to feel like they're trapped in a cosmic game of hide and seek. As they continue their wild goose chase around the ship, their ears perks up a little curious puppy at the sound of a sudden noise. Lo and behold, what they stumble upon is a magnificent treasure, a set of car keys that could easily be mistaken for the very keys that Jess, the legendary key carrier, possesses. It's almost as if the universe decided to play a hilarious prank on them, teasing their senses with uncanny resemblance. Oh, the irony. The great mystery that keeps us all on our toes. The elusive meaning of this perplexing phenomenon remains as elusive as ever. The search party is still out there, tirelessly scoring the depths of the internet for answers. Will they ever find the truth? Only time will tell, my friend. Only time will tell. Oh boy, Jess decides to take a little break from the chaos. But guess what? She stumbles upon Victor, who's rocking a new look with some unexpected red highlights. He must have really wanted to make a fashion statement because he goes for a unique approach and tries to give Jess a friendly, strangling hug. Talk about a killer fashion trend. Jess, being the nimble escape artist that they are, pulls off a daring getaway, only to be greeted by the sweet symphony of a gunshot. Ah, the sound of freedom. As she stumbles upon the dramatic scene in the ship's theater, she discovers poor Greg lying on the floor, pretending to be shot. To her surprise, Sally and Downey, the self-proclaimed detectives of the ship, dramatically point their fingers at her, accusing her for being the mastermind behind this fake crime. Oh, the suspense. Oh no, it's raining bullets. Sally and Downey just got one ticket to the afterlife. Talk about a killer party. Jess goes full on action movie mode and starts sprinting after the culprit, only to come face to face with a mysterious masked figure who apparently thinks shotguns are the latest fashion accessory. It starts mumbling something in a voice that sounds like it's been trapped inside a mask for centuries. But before Jess can even process what it's saying, the figure dramatically trips and falls overboard, plunging into the ocean below. Talk about a grand entrance. So there Jess was, surrounded by a bunch of lifeless bodies like she stumbled into a zombie convention. And to make matters worse, she had no clue who the mysterious masked person was. Talk about a plot twist. But hey, Jess being Jess, she decided to seek refuge in a cozy little cabin on the ship. Just when she thought she could catch her breath, she heard some wild yelling coming from off the boat. Seriously? Can a girl catch a break? It's like the universe is playing a never-ending game of hide and seek with poor Jess. Peering over the edge, she's flabbergasted to witness the boat doing its best impression of a turtle on its back, with everyone, including her own clumsy self, frantically waving their arms for a rescue mission. Oh boy, Jess finds herself caught in a never-ending time loop extravaganza. It's like Groundhog Day, but with a spaceship twist. Every time poor Jess thinks she has escaped, bam, the loop restarts and she's back to square one. Talk about a cosmic case of deja vu. And to make matters worse, the loop only resets when everyone on the ship bites the dust. Yikes. Looks like Jess is stuck in a never-ending cycle of ship-wide shenanigans and untimely demises. Time to break out the popcorn and watch this time loop drama unfold. The ship has its own little collection of oops we did it again zones. Oh, the adventures of Jess and her trusty locket. As she explored the area, she stumbled upon a small grate, and what do you know? There, hanging ever so gracefully, was her beloved locket, proudly displaying pictures of her mischievous son. It's like the universe was saying, hey Jess, don't forget to keep an eye on this little troublemaker. When she peeks deeper, she discovers a whole gang of them, like they're having a recurring party. Oh boy, here we go again. Our fearless adventurer is on the hunt for the elusive wounded Sally. But guess what? She stumbles upon a whole gang of Sally clones, all scattered around the ship like a twisted game of hide and seek. It's like Sally convention gone wrong. Poor Sally just can't catch a break. Terrified that she might never lay eyes on her precious son again, Jess embarks on a thrilling quest to meticulously track down the culprits and give them a stern talking to. In a classic case of mistaken identity, she hastily puts up on the mask and other attire she had spotted earlier, but little did she know, she was about to have a face-off with her own reflection. And in a plot twist that even the clumsiest of pirates would envy, she ends up taking an unexpected plunge off of the ship. Ahoy gravity! Jess groggily opens her eyes and finds herself sprawled on a sandy beach. Well, this one's way to start the day. She mutters, brushing sands off her clothes. As she finally manages to make her way back home, she enters her house only to be greeted by the sight of herself, still in her pajamas, eating breakfast. Oh great, Jess sighs. Apparently, time travel is now on my daily agenda. Just what I needed. However, brace yourselves, because this time, we get to hear the audio that was missing. And boy oh boy, do we discover the past Jess is not holding back. She's letting Tommy have it with the fury curses and screams that could wake up the entire neighborhood. Oh boy, present Jess decides to throw a surprise party for her past self. But instead of balloons and confetti, she brings a hammer and plays a little game of whack a past self. Unfortunately, Tommy witnesses this horrifying event, and present Jess, the master of deception, assures her son that he is just a terrible nightmare. Because clearly, in this family, nightmares are the equivalent of watching a horror movie on a roller coaster while eating a bucket of popcorn. Jess, being the master of multitasking, skillfully removes the locket from her former self's neck, as if she's playing a game of Operation. With the grace of a ninja, she then proceeds to tuck the lifeless body into a fashionable black duffel bag, because even in death, style matters. Finally, she expertly places the bag in the trunk of her car, where it can enjoy a scenic drive to its final resting place. Talk about a trunk with a view. Jess then proceeds to chauffeur her son to school, making grand promises that things are going to be as different as unicorn riding a unicycle. Picture this, you're cruising along the majestic ocean, feeling the wind in your hair and the sun on your face. Suddenly, out of nowhere, a seagull decides to play a game of windshield chicken and smack right into your car's windshield. Talk about a bird-brained move. Now you're left with some unexpected and rather artistic bloody streaks to remember this feathery fiasco. Who needs a car wash when you have a seagull's artistic expression on display? Jess, the fearless bird rescuer, expertly maneuvers her car to the side of the road, ready to perform her heroic act. With the grace of a swan and the determination of a penguin, she retrieves the lifeless bird from the pavement, cradling it in her hands like a precious treasure. With a dramatic flourish, she hurls the bird into the vast, majestic ocean, bidding it farewell on its final journey. And thus, Jess's mission to save the world, one deceased bird at a time, continues. But just as she's about to toss it over the edge, she spots something that makes her stop in her tracks. A seagull graveyard. It's like a fancy jewelry store, but instead of necklaces, it's filled with deceased seagulls. Talk about a bird cemetery where she was about to dump her accidental victim. Jess expertly dispatches the bird with the grace of a ninja, then sprints into her car like a cheetah on a caffeine high. As they take off, Tommy starts freaking out like a squirrel who just realized it left its acorns on the windshield. Well, as Jess attempts to tame her wild child, she decides to take a detour into the thrilling world of incoming traffic. And what do you know? She ends up playing a little game of bumper cars with a massive semi. Talk about taking multitasking to a whole new level. Well, look who's got a front row seat to the aftermath extravaganza. Jess is just chilling, taking the scenic view of her body and her son's body casually sprawled on the highway. Talk about a roadside attraction. Oh look, Mr. Taxi Philosopher over here, thinking he's got all the answers. There's nothing that anyone can do now, he says, as if he's some wise sage who's unlocked the secrets of the universe. Well, thanks to that profound insight, Mr. Taximan, maybe you should start a TED Talk on stating the obvious. Jess, being the adventurous soul that she is, decides to grace the driver with her presence and kindly ask him to chauffeur her to the harbor. Because you know, who needs a yacht when you can arrive in style in a 4-door sedan? And so, Jess embarks on her never-ending quest to outsmart the universe and keeps her son from meeting his untimely demise. Again, will she succeed, or will fate continue to play its cruel little game? Stay tuned for the thrilling, never-ending saga of Jess and her undying determination to keep her son alive. Okay, that's all for the recap for Triangle. Thanks for watching.